Right then, here we go. The final stretch of the season is upon us, and Celtic find themselves with a golden opportunity. We've been handed a chance to go and win this league on our own terms. No relying on other results, no scoreboard, watching just us, the badge, the pitch, and a shot at glory. And we're better for it to happen than Tannadice. It's a ground that's hosted a fair few memorable moments for the boys over the years, but this time, it'll be a bit different. It won't be under the floodlights on a brisk midweek evening. No, it's set for a Saturday lunchtime under the daylight and potentially under the confetti too. Now, before we even get there, we've got the small matter of a Scottish Cup semi-final to handle. St. Johnstone await us at Hampden Park this coming Sunday, 3 p.m. kickoff. A big game, a real cup tie feel. And make no mistake, this is far from a formality. They got the better of us just a week and a half ago. And while we'll go in as favorites, there's no room for complacency. Hampden's wide pitch and quality surface should suit our style, but in a one-off cup match, anything can happen. If we're serious about doing the treble this year, and we are, this is a hurdle we have to clear. But let's look ahead just for a moment to what's waiting beyond the semi-final. The league fixtures were confirmed by the SPFL just yesterday, right about 4 o'clock, and we've now got a clear view of what lies ahead in the Runin. I've slotted the potential Scottish Cup final into the calendar too, just so we can visualize the entire picture. 7 matches possibly between now and the end of the campaign. Each one with a bit of weight, a bit of drama, and a whole lot of importance. The league title could be wrapped up as soon as next weekend. A trip to Tannadice Dundee United the opponents, and all we need is one single point to make it mathematically ours. Of course, winning it outright would be sweeter, more definitive. The last time we clinched the title there was under Ange Postecoglou. 3 years ago now, believe it or not. It was an emotional night, no question about it. The football wasn't exactly vintage Celtic, mind you. Bit cagey, nerves jangling, and we maybe even rode our luck a wee bit. But no one cared really. It was about the results, about what it symbolized. Getting back to the top after the chaos of the COVID season. That moment meant everything. This time you'd hope the team can do it with a bit more flair. A bit more swagger. The type of performance that befits champions. If for some reason things don't go our way at Tannadice, we'd have another shot at sealing the title the following week. At Ibrox of all places. Imagine that. Going into the Lions' Den and walking out with the league in our back pocket. The stuff of dreams really, although I think most of us would prefer to have the job done beforehand, just for the sake of our nerves, if nothing else. The fixture list continues with Hibernian at home, then a midweek trip to Pittodrie to face Aberdeen. The only midweek game in our post-split calendar, before finishing off the league campaign against St. Mirren at Celtic Park. That's Trophy Day, by the way. 12:30 kickoff Saturday the 17th of May. The stage is set, the ribbons are probably already green and white, but we'll still need to get the job done proper. And then if all goes to plan a week later, Saturday, the 24th of May, we'll be back at Hampden for the Scottish Cup final. The time's not been confirmed yet, but I bet on a 3 p.m. start. Tradition and all that. Now, TV-wise, there's been the usual faff. Premier Sports have the semi-final on Sunday, and they'll also carry the final. The BBC's got a share of the final rights too. Sky Sports predictably are cherry-picking. They've chosen 4 games to broadcast from the top 6 and bottom 6 combined. All 4 from the top 6 naturally. No surprises there. They've taken 3 of our matches the potential title clincher. At Tannadice, the derby at Ibrox and Trophy Day against St. Mirren. Nothing from the battle for third place mind, which is turning into a decent wee scrap between Hibs Dundee United and Aberdeen. You'd think Sky might fancy a bit of variety, but alas, it's Celtic and Rangers or bust as usual. Now, let's be honest, it's been a bit of a strange few weeks for us. The mood's been a little flat, a bit of frustration in the air. The performances weren't quite clicking, but Saturday's display against Kilmarnock at Parkhead felt like a turning point. That first half hour, easily one of our best spells of football all season. Slick, sharp, confident. The second half maybe tailed off a wee bit, but 5-1 is a statement win regardless. The energy seemed to return, the spark was there again, and it's come at just the right time. We've now got 3 big weekends on the bounce. This Sunday's semi-final is a massive fixture. If we want the treble, we have to win. No 2 ways about it. Then it's on to Dundee United away, a potential title party. And the week after Ibrox. That'll be a pressure cooker regardless of what's on the line. Even if the league's already wrapped up, no one in green and white. wants to see us lose another derby. Rangers have had the better of us in the last couple, and let's be frank, losing 3 out of 4 to them in the league would sting even if we've still got the title. That game might not matter for points, but it matters for pride. It matters for momentum heading into the cup final. And it matters to the fans more than anything. After that, hopefully a quieter couple of weeks. A bit of breathing room lifting the trophy at home, letting the players take it all in. Greg Taylor, by the way, is expected to leave the club in the summer, so these final few games will be his last in the hoops. Maybe we'll see something from the North Curve to honor him like they did for Joe Hart last year. He's been a proper servant Taylor, and he deserves a send-off. Before we go, just a wee note about the SPFL's explanation post yesterday. They published a breakdown of how the post-split fixtures were calculated, which teams got flipped home and away, all that sort of thing. Nothing revolutionary really, just the same stuff they've rolled out in previous years. What was interesting, there was a quote from SPFL CEO Callum Beatty confirming that the league's working group will meet later this month to properly review the current structure and consider possible alternatives. So I-League reconstruction is on the table, officially. Also worth mentioning was this brilliant wee graphic the SPFL posted yesterday. It showed the journey of each of the 12 Premiership clubs over the 33-game regular season. Celtic, of course, have been sitting top since day one. Only started in second because of the alphabet. Serene, dominant, consistent. Just the way we like it. Hibs were another eye-catching one. Their climb to third has been steady, impressive stuff. It's been honestly one of the most straightforward league campaigns in recent memory. I don't think there's been a single week this season where anyone seriously doubted we'd win it. That kind of certainty is rare, and it's testament to the way this squad started the campaign. Set the tone early, built the gap, and just kept going. Right, we'll talk a bit more about Europe in the next part. But first, if you're heading abroad anytime soon, or just want to watch the boys safely on dodgy hotel Wi-Fi, a VPN's probably your best bet. You know the drill. Keep yourself protected, stream your Sky Sports or Premier Sports like you're still back home. NordVPN's the sponsor this time, and they're offering the usual deal. I'll leave the link below. Let's win the league first, then we'll worry about Champions League qualifiers. Because yes, we are going back into qualifying rounds, but that's a story for the second half. Right, so let's get into the second half of the picture, the part where things get a bit murkier, a bit more uncertain, and frankly, a bit more frustrating. We're talking Europe. And here's the thing, despite cruising domestically, despite being crowned champions, in waiting Celtic are staring down the barrel of a Champions League qualifier. You heard that, right? No guaranteed group stage spot next season. No direct entry, just old-fashioned qualifying rounds. The type we thought we'd left behind. Now, this isn't a result of anything we've done wrong per se. It's down to Scotland's coefficient, the National League ranking system UEFA uses to determine how many spots a country gets in Europe and at what stage their clubs enter. And for years, Rangers and Celtic both were contributing solid points. Rangers had their wee run to the Europa League final, and Celtic were making group stage appearances. It was enough to lift us into the top 10. But this season, disastrous. Celtic out. In the group stage bottom of the group, Rangers nowhere to be seen after getting dumped from the qualifiers. And the rest, Hearts, Aberdeen, Hibs, all flattered to deceive. The net result, Scotland's coefficient dropped. And now, instead of the champions going straight into the champions, league group stage, we're back in the third qualifying round. Meaning we need to get through 2 knockout ties just to get to the promised land. One slip, one dodgy away leg, and we're looking at Europa League or worse. And here's the kicker, even if we win the league by 20 points, we're treated the same as champions from leagues like Poland or Cyprus. That's the way UEFA's system works. It doesn't matter how dominant you are domestically, it's all about the coefficient. We're back in the same bracket we were during the Brendan Rodgers era the first time around. Remember those tense nights against Astana and Rosenborg? That's what we're heading towards again. The third qualifying round draw takes place in mid-July, and the ties are usually played late July into early August. The playoff round follows shortly after. So pre-season, it's no longer about fitness and easing into the rhythm. It becomes a race to be ready for high-stakes football from the off, which, let's be honest, hasn't exactly been our strong suit in recent seasons. There's another complication here, and it's one fans aren't talking about enough: the impact on our summer recruitment. Normally, when you're a Champions League club, guaranteed Champions League, you can go into the market and attract a different caliber of player. You've got that allure, the prestige, the budget. But when you got to tell a player, we might be in the Champions League, or we might be in the Europa League, or we might crash out entirely, that makes negotiations trickier, especially with players from abroad who don't fully grasp the Scottish League but know what the Champions League is. It also makes budgeting a nightmare. The board can't throw money around in June or July because there's no guarantee of that $30.40 million windfall. They've got a hedge. Wait and see. Be cautious. And that caution historically has cost us. Because while we're waiting to see if we qualify, other clubs are snapping up the players we were scouting. We end up in the bargain bin looking for plan B. So yes, European qualification will be a huge pressure point. And it's on the manager, whoever that may be, to get us ready early. Because make no mistake, there's no easy ties anymore. Hey, money in football has narrowed the margins. You'll get a Slovenian or Danish side who've spent more on their squad than we have. They'll be match fit mid-season sharp. And we'll be 3 friendlies and still integrating new players. And that brings us neatly to the question of continuity. The rumors are already swirling. A few of our top lads might be moving on in the summer. We mentioned Greg Taylor earlier, and there are whispers around Matt O'Reilly, Days and Maeda, and even Callum McGregor, depending on how things play out. If we lose multiple starters and we're back in European qualifiers, we can't afford to take weeks to settle. The replacements need to be ready now. Plug and play. It's a high-stakes jigsaw. And you're building it while blindfolded mid-flight. But there's hope too. The academy's been buzzing, Daniel Kelly's been turning heads, Rocco Vada's starting to look like he belongs. And let's not forget about Bojan Lawal. Been getting rave reviews out on loan, if we've gotten to. Be a bit frugal, there's talent in-house. But again, it comes back to management. The gaffer needs to believe in these boys and give them a proper run. Not just 10 minutes here or there. Now UEFA's new Champions League format kicks in the season after next. The so-called Swiss model. More teams, more games, and hopefully more money. And for the league winners that year, the 2025-26 champions, automatic group stage entry is expected to return. So this qualifying nonsense might be a one-season headache. But we've still got to get through it. And let's not pretend like the fans don't feel it. There's a kind of fatigue when it comes to Europe now. Too many group stage hidings. Too many embarrassing away trips. The faithful want more than just the anthem. We want a team that can go away to Germany or Italy or France and put up a fight. Not just sit deep and pray. That's the next step. Dominate at home and be competitive abroad. It's what separates a good Celtic team from a great one. For now, though, the focus has to be sharp. Win the league, win the cup, get that treble, and then turn the entire club's focus to those qualifiers. Prepare like we've never prepared before. No half measures, no excuses. If we're going to walk into that Champions League draw in August, we need to earn it the hard way. So that's where we're at. On the brink of domestic glory, but with a European storm brewing just over the horizon. Let's enjoy the moment, celebrate when the title's in our hands, but stay sharp. Because once the final whistle goes on, trophy day, the clock starts ticking. And the road to Europe begins all over again. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic. FC fans, a new video has emerged, sparking a frenzy of speculation surrounding one of the most intriguing potential transfers of the season. With Celtic fans glued to their screens, whispers of Bojan MIOVSKI's imminent move to Parkhead are growing louder. The Macedonian forward, currently impressing at Girona after his move from Aberdeen, has been linked to the Scottish Giants in a move that would see him return to Scotland after just a year in Spain. But what's really behind this buzz? Miovski's rise to prominence has been swift. After debuting in the Macedonian First Football League with Bregalnica at just 18, the striker made a name for himself abroad with a brief spell at MTK Budapest before his 2022 move to Aberdeen. The forward's time in the Scottish Premiership was a revelation, as he quickly found his rhythm and became one of the team's most reliable attacking options. His performances caught the eye of many, but it was his move to Girona in 2024 that marked a new chapter in his career. However, Celtic's renewed interest has thrown everyone off guard. The timing of Celtic's interest is curious. While MIOVSKI has only recently signed a 4-year deal with Girona, it appears that the Scottish club is willing to break the bank to bring him back to the Premiership. Fans and pundits alike are questioning whether this deal is truly in the cards, or if it's merely a matter of the press stirring up more drama around one of the transfer window's hottest commodities. With MIOVSKI's contract at Girona set to run for several more years, the logistics of such a move are far from straightforward. What's most exciting for Celtic fans is the idea of MIOVSKI joining a squad that has shown promise in recent seasons under manager Ange Postecoglou. His pace, technical ability, and clinical finishing could be the missing piece for the Scottish club, helping them reclaim the title and push further in European competitions. However, as the rumors intensify, there are still questions about whether the deal will materialize or if another club might swoop in at the last moment. As we await official confirmation, one thing is certain: Bojan MIOVSKI's future is the subject of much speculation. And whether he stays at Girona or makes his way back to the Scottish Premiership, the football world is eagerly watching. Stay tuned for the next chapter in what could be a defining transfer of the year. Hello fan, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.